You ever notice how you plan your trade so well, it meets your setup, you wait patiently for the setup to shape up, it meets your plan, you execute. But the moment you get tagged into the trade, it's like you become a different person. You begin to feel pressure, you begin to second guess your position, you begin to doubt your skills, you begin to doubt the decisions you made before you entered the trade. That is very common with so many traders. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you why you can't execute under pressure, and I'm going to show you how to actually execute under pressure. Learning this aspect of trading is what's gonna differentiate you from 90% of traders that consistently lose. And the reason I say that is because success in trading is less about what you know and more about how you behave. How you behave is more important than what you know. So it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, it only matters, or let me say, it mostly matters how you behave in the markets. So learning to execute well under pressure, learning to follow your rules under pressure, that is what's gonna make you stand out from the pool of traders that consistently lose. When I was a beginner trader, I thought it was all about the knowledge. So I went onto YouTube and I started learning everything as much as I can. I just kept learning, gathering knowledge, studying. I found myself so cool when I learned new terminologies, learned about like a lot of indicators and a lot of, just knowledge. That's what I thought it was all about. But now that I've gone into it a couple more years, I realized that it's actually less about the knowledge. As a matter of fact, when I got into consistency, I realized that there's a lot of things that I have learned that is actually holding me back. I'm sure it might be the same case for you as well. I'm sure it might be the same way for many other traders as well. We were deceived or to learn that it is all about the knowledge. We need to know more about our strategy. We need to learn more of this, more of that. But it's less about the knowledge and more about the behavior. Because I can prove this by saying this, that how comes before you execute the trade, before you get into the trade, you know this trade fits your plan. You know these are the rules to apply. You know this is what your setup tells you to do in a certain situation like this. But when you are in the trade, your behavior changes. It's like you are a different person in the moment. And being a different person in that moment, you become emotional. You are given to your emotional impulse, and when you're given to emotional impulse, you make decisions based on how you feel in the moment and not based on the rules that you've applied. So what this tells us is that it's less about what you know and more about how you behave. And I can tell you this, that consistently profitable traders are consistent, not because they know so much, but mainly because they behave properly, especially under pressure. Your ability to behave well under pressure is what's going to determine how successful you are. I want you to always remember this, that it is more important how you behave than how much you know. It is less about what you know and more about how you behave, because you can know what to do, you can know how to do it, but when the time comes to actually apply yourself and you don't do it, then you simply won't get the results that you would have if you had done it under pressure. Because when it comes to life, the real you comes out when pressure is introduced. The you that manifests, that shows up in a situation, that is the real identity that you carry. So it's one thing to have the identity or maintain the consciousness that I am a consistent profitable trader, or maintain the identity of a consistent profitable trader. And it's another thing to actually be a consistent profitable trader in the moment. So you see, it's one thing knowing that you need to adopt the mindset, attitude, identity of a consistent profitable trader. It's another thing actually showing that identity in real time, because whatever behavior you display during the live market, that is the real identity that you actually carry. So I'm sure you agree with me when I say this, that there are two versions of you. The first version is the one who is calm, the one who identifies the rules to follow when they enter the trade and how to exit the trade as well. And then there's a version of you who behaves differently in the trade. That is the reactive version of you. That is the emotional version of you. Now, in my previous videos, I explained the concept of your thoughts leading to your feelings leading to your actions leading to your results. When you think of it from this line, that when you are in the trade, your emotional side takes over. The decisions you take in the moment is only decided by your emotional side, which means that you are relying on your feelings to make the decisions for you. And I explained that your feelings are not reliable. Your feelings change like the weather, they are unstable, but your identity is stable. Your identity is what stands no matter the situation, circumstances that is thrown at you. So, your ability to maintain the identity of a consistent, profitable trader, then you repeat the thoughts of a consistent, profitable trader over and over and over again. When you keep doing the habits of consistent, profitable traders, you keep doing what they do over and over and over again, that's going to lead to the feelings of a consistent, profitable trader. Now, emotions, feeling uncomfortable, that is a very normal thing, right? We are all human beings, we are all emotional beings. Emotions come based on whatever situation, circumstance that presents itself. But your job as a trader is to ignore those emotions. You are not an emotional trader, you are a consistent, profitable trader. Consistent, profitable traders don't pay attention to their emotions. They know what rules to follow that's going to consistently get them good results, and they follow those rules no matter how they feel. That is the difference between consistent, profitable traders and consistent, unprofitable traders. So you need to make sure that when you execute, you are not paying attention to your feelings. You don't make decisions based on how you feel like acting in the moment. You make the decisions based on the rules you set. I made a video explaining how before you enter a trade, you need to make sure you have your entry rules. You need to make sure you have your invalidation rules. You need to make sure you have your exit rules. Before you enter the trade, you write out the rules you're going to follow in order to act, so that once you are in the trade, you are not making new decisions. You are simply executing on pre-decided decisions or pre-made up, you know what I mean, right? Decisions you've already made before you enter the trade. So doing that is going to help you to ignore the feelings and emotions that you feel in the moment. You need to be more on the side of the calm trader. Now, being a calm trader doesn't mean that the emotions are never going to kick in. They will. So when they kick in, just don't be surprised. Just know that your job as a trader is to ignore those emotions and go after what you're supposed to do as a trader. And I'm going to give you a few tips as to how to approach situations like this, because the core of why you feel uncomfortable, especially when a trader is going against you, the reason you feel uncomfortable is because of the amount of money you're going to lose. What that tells me is that you are too attached to the outcome of the trade. You are too attached to whatever is going on the external, the money side of it. But there are ways that we can curb this, and curbing this is actually going to help you to overcome this situation of finding it difficult to execute properly under pressure. I'm going to share you something very important that I learned from my trading mentors, and that is, the more you think about the money, the less of it you make. The more you care about how much money you're going to make from trading, the less amount of money you make. The more you focus on the process, the more you focus on behaving right, the more you focus on doing the things that you're supposed to do, the more you focus on doing the things that you are to do and not the things you feel like doing, the more you will actually make money in trading. And that is how life is. Whatever you chase after runs away, whatever you force resists. So you are chasing profits, you are chasing the money, and that is why it is running away from you. So firstly, you need to detach from the outcome you'll get from trading. Now, that sounds absurd because we all started trading to make money, but the reality of it is that the more you think about the money, the less of it you make. So you need to do your best to detach from the outcome. You need to do your best to detach from the money side of it, because the reason you get emotional in trades is because you are thinking of whether you're going to make money from it or not, or whether you're going to lose money from it or not. And one important thing that has helped me to stay disciplined in terms of risk management, it's this, that whenever my account is at break even, I am only going to risk 0.5% per trade until my account is up 3%. Then when my account is up 3%, I risk 1% per trade, and then I never increase the risk. It stays at 1%. But if I'm below the 3% buffer, my account is below 3%, then I'm going to risk 0.5%. Then if I get into deeper drawdown, like let's say -5%. I don't know the last time I was ever in that deep of a drawdown, but if it so happens that I get into like a -5% drawdown, then I'm gonna risk 0.25% of my account, which means the total account size I'm risking 0.25% of that account. This is this is a method that has actually helped me to detach from the money side of it, because I understand that by consistently following my rules and being disciplined, discipline means doing what you are supposed to do and not what you feel like doing. By doing that, I'm going to make lots of money as a side effect. And that is what I've been consistently doing. So I don't focus on how much money I'm going to make. I just focus on making the right decisions. So cutting your risk per trade is definitely going to help you a lot to execute properly under pressure. In fact, it's going to have a less chance of pressure even happening on you in the moment when it's time to execute or to manage your trade. So a big problem of so many traders is that they are over risking. I understand you're playing prop firms by their rules. You want to take advantage of prop firms and make as much money as possible before they, do their own things. But think about what it's doing to your psychology. You think to yourself, once I get that one payout, then I'm gonna behave properly. But that's not how psychology works. Psychologically speaking, you are what you do the most, the law of habits. Whatever you do the most, that is what you become. So if it takes you 10 funding challenges to get that one payout, which you're still behind, by the way, you get that one payout, guess what? You have a behavior that has followed you, which means that even if you do get funded, even if you do get your first payout or second payout, high chance you're going to lose your account, because the habit that has got you there is not sustainable. It's more like a gambling habit. So you need to learn to detach from the outcome. And one thing that can help you detach from the outcome is reducing the risk you take per trade. That's going to help you a lot. So the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is make sure you do what you planned to do and not what you feel like doing. That's basically how I define discipline in my last video. That discipline is doing what you are supposed to do and not what you feel like doing. By making sure that you stick to your gun, making sure that you follow your rules, even if you feel uncomfortable, even if you feel like this is gonna go for more, or you feel like this is gonna be a winner, or it's gonna do something that you feel like it's gonna do. As long as it is your feelings bringing up assumptions, don't pay attention to it. Only execute on what you said you were going to execute. Only do what you said you were going to do. By doing this consistently, you will have your consistent profitable results. Because again, I will repeat this, that success in trading is less about what you know and more about how you behave. So whatever behavior you express repeatedly, that is what's going to determine the results that you have. So take away these and let's see how your results will not improve. If you fail to work on this as soon as possible, it's going to lead to a very dangerous trait, a very dangerous thing that if it continues over and over again, you'll just keep bleeding your confidence and capital in the market. I'm going to talk about all of this in the next video. Follow these simple steps, reduce the risk you take per trades to detach fully from the outcome you get from trading, and only do what you said you were going to do, not what you feel like doing. Do these things and you will execute properly under pressure. Thank you for watching this video. Check out the next one.